players, dog. Like Sabonis and Draymond Green, they going at it. But the playoffs has always been dirty. It kind of reminds me of them Knight and Mo, like early 2000 games, you know what I mean? Or Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson type shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's getting kind of bad, and I think that you know, that play at the end with Draymond was kicking him and stuff. It was a little sideways. Even as a basketball player, you try not to hurt the other player. You know what I mean, like that. So you would even fall. You would even fall over that. I mean, I think there was a case where LeBron even had to do something like that. He stepped over Green. He stepped over Green because he could have stepped on Green, right? But he tried not to step on Green. It was a finals game. He tried not to step on. He stepped over Green, and Green like hit him in the private parts. Y'all remember that? So in this case, Draymond Green's on the other side of it where he don't try to step over. Yeah, Sabonis, he was kind of holding his leg. Okay. You know what I mean? Fight fire with fire. But you holding in basketball, you throwing punches when you holding. I mean, someone's holding your arm. When they hold your arm when boxing you out, do you turn around and throw a punch? No, you don't. You know what I mean? You throw your arms up in the air like, hey, you try to get the foul call. But the refs never see it. So you gotta help them see it. And most basketball players know that. So in this case, Draymond Green, I mean, like stomps on his trampolines on his chest, like you know Mario Brothers with the mushroom. Like he took a step, then he jumped off his chest like a trampoline or something. He got up there, elevated, did the splits in the air. I mean, he didn't, because he was gonna trip. He was gonna trip over Sabonis' legs. When he could have just went over Sabonis sideways, he decided to step on and walk down Sabonis and jump over his legs. So that was wild. But the Kings, I put a title on the picture. Kings got a broom. I wasn't gonna put a question mark, but then I looked at the numbers, which I kind of already knew the numbers, but I got to process it even further. The Kings got a broom, and they're ready. They're ready to sweep them. Ain't nothing else about it. They're ready. It's going down. Yes, Golden State plays good at home, but the Kings play great away. They do. The Kings, they play great away. They like away. You know what I mean? Yes, you're gonna get those teams that win more at home, yes, but when it comes to the playoffs, the teams that win away, they win the series. And those are the teams that sweep. So the Kings, although you see these games, you see the Kings struggling to win. Like, I don't get how the Kings, they seem to win the game and look like they lost at the same time. You know? If it wasn't for the beam, I don't think anybody would know the Kings won. Watching the game, yeah, they go up. This is no slight to the Kings. I'm just saying this is a kind of a slight to the Golden State Warriors that you're playing like you see them struggling in this playoff series. You see the Kings just missing shots after shot, turnover. This game was ugly for the Kings. And they still won. They looked like they lost, but they won. The first game, they looked like they fought really hard. And who knows who could have won, right? But this game, it looked like they lost. And they won. And when stuff like that happens, my antennas go up. Like, okay. So you got Draymond Green, which we'll see if they look at it and they talk about it. You know, that Sabonis was holding his leg. But you got Draymond Green over here like a gymnast, just gracefully, maybe not so gracefully, using Sabonis's abdomen and chest as a trampoline. So he got over his legs. I mean, he got pretty high. He got up there. It was nice. I mean, it was. I give him an 8, but it's not basketball though, and ain't no excuse for that. You know what I mean? Incidental, yes, but that's not incidental. You don't try to step on nobody. You know what I mean? And Draymond Green has always been a dirty player. So anybody trying to defend that is pretty much just not really watching what's really going on. He's always been a dirty player. Like I said, when same thing with LeBron. When LeBron tried to, the same thing happened. So that just shows you that it's not give and take. He gonna give, get that pain. You know what I mean? Just to win. It's playoff time. We know how hungry it gets. You saw the Phoenix Suns the other day. Devin Booker probably fouled somebody on every play, being slick with it. He barely even had like 3 fouls called. So it's playoff time. But if you're not excessive as far as like what you're doing and how much you're affecting the play, the rest may not even call it. You may get away with the same foul all game. But if it doesn't look like you're messing up someone's shot or it's, you're visibly kind of you're just making it tough for them, they're not gonna call the foul. If you're just making it tough for someone until it starts to look excessive. But the Kings found a way to just grind it out. Like, that's the only way to describe it. They grinded it out, like, to the smallest granules, and they took it home, at home. You know what I mean? The crowd is lit. They got E40 kicked out last week. Like, I'm not condoning it. I thought it was some bullshit, but if you look at the whole picture, like, the Kings then beat Golden State, and it's not even a way for Golden State, and because Sacramento and San Francisco aren't far from each other, not at all. Like, they're far from LA. Like, it's whole different kind of people. You know what I mean? Whole different kind of people up there. Whole different kind of hoods, where they talk, things they do, slang, everything up there. But when it comes to Sacramento and San Francisco, it's like the same thing. Most of the people that, like, Sacramento's our state capital, so all the people that work in Sacramento, you know what I mean, all the rich, they get monies from the corporations and all that, so they pockets is padded. All the ones that's been there for a minute, you know what I mean, they are governors. They live in San Francisco. Where does Gavin Newsom live? You probably check his that. I can guarantee you it's probably San Francisco. He not living in Sacramento. Don't nobody live in Sacramento. You drive through Sacramento. You never go to Sacramento unless you the Golden State Warriors or any other NBA team that has to play there. And it's not a diss on Sacramento. It's just not necessarily a tourist destination, especially when you got all these spots in California, these beautiful, beautiful places. The Central Valley is not one of the beautiful places of California. It feeds us, keeps us full. You know what I mean? A lot of farmland out there, but it's definitely not one of the pretty sights of California. We have a lot of Mount Shasta, Mount Whitney. We got Yosemite, Lake Tahoe, shit. The whole coast. You know what I mean? We got some spots in the north, the high top northwest. I don't think I've ever been to the northeast corner other than like Tahoe area. But I've drove through a portion of it, and it was pretty nice. So it's real green and everything, but the Central Valley is brown. And you just drive, it's not a lot in Sacramento. So my point is, it's not an away game for Golden State. It's a home game. They got a lot of their fans there. So when they go back, yes, the Kings will have to deal with a ruckus fan base, but you already see how crazy the Sacramento Kings home team is right now. How they got E40 kicked out. The white girl got E40 kicked out, smiling and shit afterwards. E40 didn't show up to this game. He said he finna be that's just a sign. The Kings are about to sweep the Warriors. They got the broom, the dustpan, the trash can ready. They about to send dusty ass Warriors home for they can rehabilitate themselves. You know what I mean? Because you see Curry threw a couple air balls up. It just don't even feel right. You know what I mean? Like, he hit some good threes, but when you start seeing Curry shoot air balls And I know when you shoot with a high arc like that, and you're trying to get that bottom of the net swish, a lot of times you may get an air ball, especially if it just go off just a little bit. It has to be really, really precise. You know what I mean? And it's all in the rhythm of your wrist. So once you get it a couple times, you don't even really got to worry about being precise. It's just your eyes and you know what I mean, your deficit, everything just comes together naturally. That's how your brain works. You know what I mean? So a guy like Steph Curry, like that's how his brain works. So he let it go. It's hitting the bottom of the net, and when it's not hitting the bottom of the net, then it's a problem because it's gonna be an air ball. You know, especially if he's tired at the end of the game, he's not focusing. So it looks sloppy, And if Steph's doing that, like ain't no hope for Golden State right now. They may get one in San Francisco, but I really want to go on record saying that they're gonna get swept. It's possible they can get one if they get their shit together. But I wonder if anybody's saying Golden State in 6 right now. I wonder if there's anybody saying Golden State in 7 right now. Because that's likely. Because if they do get one, I still think the Kings will pull it off. I mean, let me take that back. So if Golden State does get one, I do give Golden State a chance. Like if they could beat the Kings, if they could just put some type of fear in this young King team in the playoffs, you know what I mean? Just kind of throw them off they rocker because they're already, not playing that, especially this game. A lot of turnovers, sloppiness. Golden State cannot take advantage of it. If they can just, put a little fear in them, I could see them turning the tide. But I see the Kings sweeping. I don't see that happening. Golden State doesn't have it in them. Wiggins definitely. He worries me when I'm kind of watching the room for the Kings, the underdog, you know what I mean? And he's the one that worries me because Wiggins, whatever he was doing when he was off, like he him, And if Steph Curry get hurt or Klay Thompson get hurt or any of this in that season, and Wiggins needs to take them shots, I can guarantee you that Wiggins is gonna take them shots, all of them. So. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but I definitely think the Kings are a force to be reckoned with. And Golden State is looking dusty and burnt out. It don't even look like they won last year. Like, did they change their roster a lot or something? Like, I don't know what they did, but they're looking dusty. Like, they barely made the 6th spot. And then you thinking like, okay, they about to turn into playoff mode. The King beat them, yes, at home, but the Kings are tied with the Clippers with the worst home record in the top 6. And I'm guessing that's probably, I'm not going to put the other ones, but top 6 home records. Let me see how far does that go down? Yep, the top 7. Only the Timberwolves had a worse home record than the Kings and the Clippers and the Lakers. The fuck wrong with the Crypto.com arena? That's kind of odd that both teams that play in the Crypto.com arena tied for the top 7. I mean, yeah, top 7. Lakers and Clippers, 23-18 at home. It's not a good look, but the Kings definitely prove that they can win away. I mean, at home, and that's the main thing. And the Clippers prove that they can win away. The Lakers prove that they can win away. You look at their away records, and the Kings is significantly better because and that's why they're a higher seed, and that's why they are where they are because they won more of those away teams. Where teams like the Clippers and Lakers just kind of played the same away and played like they played at home. Just a little bit worse away. When you have some teams that play better. So the Kings played better. And the Kings will go to Golden State and they'll play better. And they'll play better for 2 more games, and then Golden State will have to go home and say, damn, man, like, we ain't a team lost to the Kings in the playoffs since Stojakovic, or who what was the last Kings win in the play? I think it was not Stojakovic, maybe Chris Webber or something. It wasn't that old. I think it was like 2004. They won a series or something like that. Can't remember who it was against, but they definitely won a series that long. But I would say it's been a while. Some of these kids weren't born when some of these kids. You start watching basketball young too. They ain't seen the Kings win a playoff series in their life. And then you got the NBA champs from last year coming in, taking an L to a team that they ain't never seen in the playoffs but one time in their whole life, and they played the Spurs, and I'm guessing that was the Kawhi Spurs. So they ain't seen him for long. But in this case, you got the Kings taking the defending champs. They're gonna have to send them home early. Like send them back. I see the Bucks falling out. Like it's gonna be nice. Finally. Get them out. They're going Golden State gone. Bye bye. Then we got the Lakers to deal with. Remember, there's some teams that ought to be reckoned with in the West. And if Golden State's playing like this, I don't want them to be in the playoffs. I'm a fan of the sport. You know what I mean? I don't want Golden State to just go to the. I want to see the Kings. They playing. They the young spark. You know what I mean? They got the energy. You know what I mean? Like they didn't play that good this game and look like they could have lost. But how you look like you lost, you still win. And I think that's intriguing to me, and that's something I want to see. So Golden State can take their ass back to San Francisco. And they got a homeless situation back there. They could solve. I believe so. They could solve that. All that money out there in San Francisco could build like a homeless town on a boat or something like that. Come on, y'all got to go fix that. Steph Curry, Draymond, go fix that. Let the Kings finna send y'all back. Y'all just stay where you at because they're gonna get two at the house, wherever y'all at. But yeah, so really, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to hit. We hit Draymond Green with the you can Hadouken, the Nuck Nuck Nooga. He did the Nuck Nuck Nooga, or the Chun Li. He did the Chun Li on him. So we did Draymond Green doing the Chun Li. Sabonis actually was holding him though. And Sabonis trying to play tough. What's up with Sabonis? He trying to play tough. That's the problem. Draymond Green got something out of Sabonis. He got it. Like they over here just scrapping and fighting. Like the playoffs is a little out of hand right now. And if the niggas that can really can keep their composure or actually like kind of hide they foolery, they the ones that's gonna win. Because if you ain't you can't control your emotions, you're gonna end up like Draymond Green doing the Chung Li on somebody on the floor. You know what I mean? Not being able to play. He holding you. You should have been played it off. You know what I mean? I'd have fell, hit my head on the floor, did something. They'd have been like, double flagrant on him. He tripped me, he grabbed my leg. I gotta walk, right? You can't just be grabbing my leg. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna step on you and do a cartwheel over you. You know what I mean? But some niggas is different, I guess. And you got here, it's cool. It's all good. I hope to see Draymond Green back next game because I want the Warriors to have no excuses. Not one excuse, I mean. And there's always that factor that one of them young little dudes on the bench come out and ball out and change my whole perspective on what I think who's going to win this game. Because right now I'm looking at who they playing right now and the coaching, they're not making any major changes. They're going to lose. But with injuries, sometimes you get some of these young, hungry dudes come off the bench and make Draymond Green, make you forget about Draymond Green. So we'll see what's to happen. And hopefully, he does play next game. And yeah, let's see what happens. Y'all like, subscribe, comment.